Previously on Say What? The word lolly came from the word Lolita, cute, or kawaii. I'll lead up into this concept called moe. Hello and welcome to Say What? Where I, Professor Theraguin, cover various terms and aspects in the otaku culture that has come from Japan over to the West, and what they mean, and their roots and all of that information. So, let's continue where we left off. We were talking about, the four archetypes of kawaii and moe and whatnot. Well, today we're going to get into a couple of the other, stranger archetypes that make us go, over here in the West. Alright. Our first term for today is actually one that's quite interesting. It comes in a full circle of life. No, not of life, but a full, circle of from the west to the east to the west to the east to the... Yeah, you get the idea. I'm just being silly because, I'm a dad and we're allowed to be silly. So, this term is Gyaru. Now, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but look, this is how it's spelled. Wah! Thank you, Magic Blackboard. Now, this term originally came from the term gal. So, gal, from the West. Kind of like your Valley Girl. What's really interesting is they say that, it came around in the 70s, possibly 80s. It is a rebellion type of fashion that happened in Japan with particularly females. Now, it can be applied to both male and female, but the key role model for this came about in the 80s with Baywatch. You remember Baywatch? I do. It impressed me as a young, developing male. Yeah, my parents didn't really let me watch much of Baywatch. They did let me watch Knight Rider, but not Baywatch. Sorry, David Hasselhoff. But Pam Anderson was just too much for this young boy to handle. But anyway, they liked the tan skin and the blonde hair. So, Gyaru fashion follows this very rebellious phase of not being your typical Japanese girl. The white porcelain skin, the dark black hair. Gyaru, instead, they're anywhere from a blonde to a dirty blonde brown hair to tan skin, even to the extremes with their makeup of having white around their eyes, heavy lipstick, things like that. My biggest example of this is my girlfriend is a gal. Now, oh my goodness, this is funny, etchy, and probably so terrible it's dumpster fire anime. They pretty much act like sluts. They're not sluts. They're but they have to almost portray this because they're portraying what they think is from the West, showing off sexiness and cuteness and things like that. But it also, again, gets back into that idea of cute. Well, that's Gyaru and gal. What is Lolita, if you remember from last week, and Gyaru and gal and all, what are they rebelling against? and they're rebelling against the idea of Bishoujo. There's such a Bishoujo. You'll have something like that type of phrase, and that is the traditional Japanese beauty. I love it that in Demon Slayer, the brother refers to Nezuko-chan as a Bishoujo. She's a cute, beautiful Bishoujo. Kawaii Bishoujo. Boom, bam, bam. Double words, double awesome. And if you look at her, she is, even when she's in her vampire form or demon-ish form, she has the long black hair, the porcelain white skin, the beautiful eyes. It is the, archetype. Hold them up and exclaim that they are wonderful. Female beauty. That is what every male in Japan desires, right? No, not really, but hey, it works well for storytelling. Another example of them is, from older anime is Inuyasha with Kagome and Kikuru. Those are both very beautiful Bishoujo girls. And what's very interesting is it also lends its way into that Miku archetype. Now, Miku is Shrine Maiden, and that's another thing that's very interesting. While here in the West we have our nuns, and they're celibate and all of that. Over there in the East, they have the Shrine Maidens, but they don't have any vows of celibacy and things like that. And in fact, plenty of girls will volunteer to be Shrine Maidens on the weekends and whatnot. You see that in various anime where, hey girlfriend, can you come help me out? My uncle is having this festival at the shrine and we need more Shrine Maidens. They'll come and they'll dress up and there'll be Shrine Maidens there giving out fortunes and things like that, make it a little bit of extra spare pocket change for themselves, all while supporting the shrine. So that's another one, is Miku, which again flows from Bishoujo. Now, let's get into my favorite and last archetype, which covers my wife. Yes, she hasn't killed me yet, everyone. We're talking about the older mother type. And, I don't know if there's any word for this older mother loving type, but that, is an actual word that describes them. But the phrase that you hear, and it's very popular with some of the younger men and whatnot, is Ara Ara. Ara Ara. Ara Ara. Ara Ara. I know, it's disturbing coming from Professor Theragun saying Ara Ara. Anyway, Ara Ara means oh my, or me oh my goodness, things like that. And they're always like, Ara Ara, this poor little boy. Ara Ara, this poor guy. And they go into protective motherly mode. And I think that's because a lot of our younger millennial generation and whatnot likes to be coddled and mothered. We kind of talked about that generational stuff back in the original Say What? So hey, be sure to go check that out if you haven't watched that yet. So those are all of our archetypes. We covered quite a bit in these past 2 weeks. But I hope you have a better understanding of the various things that make its way into anime, that then make it over into our otaku culture in the West, that we kind of celebrate and enjoy or not understand or whatever. And again, if you have any topics that you would like me to cover to research and discuss for you, please leave a comment below and I will look that stuff up for you and cover it in another Say What episode. Now, we've been doing a contest, and I might extend this contest for a few more weeks. So check out the contest link below, where you could win some cool Otaku merch. So, check that out. Also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that you get notified when I post new things, but I try to do it every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday by 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And lastly, share this video. Help us grow. We really appreciate it. I've been Theragwin, the Otaku Gen Xer, professor of all things marvelous. Yeah, whatever. Remember, everyone, you need to be yourself in virtual reality, and especially in real life. Later, all.